everyone, and welcome to a special episode of Godsall's Turnbuckle. And yes, it is pay-per-view week, which means it's time for predictions, and it's predictions for WWE Elimination Chamber 2018. As of this moment, I think they've only announced 4 matches, but I think there's going to be at least a 5th one in there. I'm not 100% certain. It almost feels like that this show could end up being like just a 2-hour show or something like that as well, if they decide to keep it like this. So it'll definitely be an interesting show, based off of the factor of the 2 Elimination Chamber matches, everything to go along with that. But we're not here to fully go over what's happening on the show. We were here to do predictions for it. So let's go ahead and start with Woken Matt Hardy going up against Bray Wyatt. This has been an interesting feud, honestly, and by interesting, I mean I'm still waiting for pre-filmed segments from the Hardy compound or something more pre-filmed versus just backstage promos with them eventually doing their over-the-top laughing, which, don't get me wrong, has been fine. It's been great. And it's been fun to that certain degree. But it's definitely going to be one of those things we're waiting for a little bit more. And let's see if we end up, and hopefully we'll end up getting it. Well, I don't think we'll get it here, obviously. Unless if they just start, like, doing a big brawl to the outside and it just goes all over the place, which would be kind of cool on its own. But I feel like they're going to be continuing on this feud into WrestleMania. And honestly, I see Woken Matt Hardy coming out with the victory in this one. Mostly due to the Raw 25th anniversary episode where Bray Wyatt had won in a relatively quick fashion. I feel like they're going to kind of go tit for tat here on that side, though they could easily give it to Bray Wyatt as well. I mean, how often does Bray Wyatt eat the pin? In most matches, maybe give him an actual win every now and again as well. But I'm going to go with Woken Matt Hardy here, and then hopefully they continue on to do something crazier going into WrestleMania. For the next time we see Raw on pay-per-view. Up next, this is the match that hasn't been announced, but I think they're going to do it. It's going to be Sheamus and Cesaro going up against Apollo. That's right, they got rid of Apollo Crews. They got rid of the Crews and Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil. Honestly, I see this match kind of in an aspect that Apollo and Titus O'Neil have won 3 times, in the past. They've won 3 straight matches. They haven't gotten the tag title match yet. And I'm assuming they're going to get that here. But I also see Sheamus and Cesaro keeping those belts going into the actually WrestleMania. So I'm going to go with Sheamus and Cesaro to keep those tag team titles. That's assuming that this match even happens to go along with it. We're not 100% certain on it. Up next is Asuka going up against Nia Jax, and they're playing this one off as, if Nia Jax wins, she gets a shot at the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania. Right now they're saying it's a triple threat match, even though Asuka technically hasn't declared which champion she's going for going into WrestleMania at this time. So there's still a shot that, Asuka's going after Charlotte. Or maybe she is going after the Raw Women's title. Who knows on this one? But let's just leave it at this. Asuka's not losing here. I just don't see it happening. There's no reason for them to end her undefeated streak at an Elimination Chamber. If they want to end it, you end it like in a WrestleMania or SummerSlam or one of the bigger pay-per-views, or when it just feels like, okay, you should end the actual streak. Here, it doesn't feel like you should end the streak. And I feel like she's going to go after Charlotte. Like, she's going to announce either that night or the next night on Raw that she's going to go after Charlotte. Or she may even, come out after Ruby Riot's match with her at Fastlane, with Charlotte's match at Fastlane, and then announce that she's going after Charlotte in the SmackDown Women's title. So I just don't see a reason for Asuka to lose the undefeated streak here. It's pretty simple on this one. I feel like they're gonna go ahead and have Asuka win. So and that's gonna leave this whole aspect of Nia Jax into a little bit of a weird area. Like I said, I feel like Asuka's going after Charlotte, and and with the next match, I'm actually quite torn with where I'm gonna predict. I have a prediction down, but I'm not 100% on it, and I'm actually kind of torn on this one as well. So it is the women's Elimination Chamber match with Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Sasha Banks, Mickie James, Sonya Deville, and Mandy Rose. So obviously we haven't seen this before on that side, so we've heard them say historic God knows how many times going into this, but it is the first time we've had a all women's Elimination Chamber match. It'll be interesting to see what they have them do. Like, what will each of these women end up doing inside of the Elimination Chamber? How will they use the tropes of the Elimination Chamber? They did a really good job with the Royal Rumble. Just last month, they did a lot of good tropes with the Royal Rumble style match inside of there. Potential turns, little storyline teases here and there. You played the trope of you had the Iron Woman and Sasha Banks, even though she was started at the beginning at number one, and she started off completely babyface, but kind of started doing, like, mouthing off to everybody, so she was kind of turning a little bit heelish throughout the entire match to go along with it. So they did do a lot of the tropes of the Royal Rumble, and I thought they did a good job there. I feel like they're going to do a good job here. You got a good group of talent in this one. This is where I'm torn. At this time, I don't see Mickie James, Sonya Deville, or Mandy Rose winning the match, though you could probably see one of those three make a good run in the match itself. The thing is, it's between Alexa Bliss, Bayley, and Sasha Banks, at least to me at this time. And the reason why I say that is because, the way they've been teasing Sasha Banks and Bayley leads you to believe they're going to go into some kind of feud, some kind of match here in the very near future. That is kind of where a lot of people are thinking things are going to go. And there's a lot of people feeling like it should also have the title inside there. So that would say Bayley or Sasha wins the match, and then one of them turns heel to go along with it, or one of them wins the match and then turns heel, or they find a way to turn them heel in the match, or I don't know 100% on that one. That seems to be the lead for them going into WrestleMania, is the actual match between Sasha and Bayley. Where with the other scenario, it seems like it would be Nia Jax going up against Alexa Bliss. Because I feel like Asuka's going after Charlotte, so somebody's going after the Raw Women's title. And if they decide to keep it on Alexa Bliss, which is actually going to be my pick, I feel like they're gonna go that route with it. Though I could easily see them putting the title on Bayley or Sasha as well. But I feel like they're going to keep the belt on Alexa Bliss, and they're gonna have her and Nia Jax feud going into WrestleMania. That leaves it, and why do I say it leaves me a little bit torn? Honestly, at this point in time, I'm like the whole thing with Alexa Bliss, like, she's not doing too many matches as of late, and her whole character and everything hasn't really been seen too much on the actual show. So at this point in time, I'm so meh on Alexa Bliss. I don't hate the character. I don't hate the character. Obviously, she plays a heel, so you want to boo her and everything on that side. But I don't hate that character. It's just like, it feels like the Raw Women's title match at WrestleMania, if it's her and Nia Jax, though Nia Jax is getting pretty decently over herself at this point in time, would just be kind of a meh. It's a meh match. Where if you had that Raw Women's title on Bayley or Sasha, a lot of people would be a lot more excited going into that particular match. And maybe that's because of the history that a lot of fans have seen. Obviously not all the fans. They've seen one really good match with Sasha and Bayley on Raw, but there's also a good chunk of fans who hadn't seen what they'd done in NXT with the NXT women's title and the takeover Brooklyn, and then the takeover Respect Iron Woman match to go along with it. No, not everyone's seen that one, so they don't fully know exactly what they can do. But there's a lot more fans that would be a lot more excited to see Sasha and Bayley going after the fighting each other for the title than I think they would Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax. But that's just where I'm going. I feel like they're going to keep that title on Alexa Bliss in this particular match, though. So I am going to go with Alexa Bliss as my pick. So, you know what? Before I get into the men's elimination chamber match, we could go ahead and talk a little bit about the whole Ronda Rousey contract signing. So she's supposed to be coming on Elimination Chamber to sign her contract for Monday Night Raw. You know shenanigans are going to happen. So one of two things are going to happen. They throw us a curveball and she's going to SmackDown. So all of a sudden you hear, "Here Comes the Money," or you hear Daniel Bryan's music hit, and she decides to sign a SmackDown contract. And she goes after Charlotte or whomever the SmackDown Women's Champion is going into the pay-per-view. Or she just signs off on the Raw contract and you begin her feud with Stephanie, which could be interesting as well. Let's be fair, that could be very interesting to go along with everything. So it'll be interesting to see what they decide to do with Ronda Rousey on this particular pay-per-view. They did make mention to it on Monday Night Raw, and it did receive some boos, which was a little bit weird, but I mean, that kind of is what it is on that side. I don't think she's going to get wildly booed all over the place to begin with. I feel like they're going to use her as a babyface to start off with, and maybe they can transition her into being a heel. And it's also going to be interesting to see, even though she signed a full-time contract with the WWE, it'll be interesting to see where, like how often is she showing up? Is it going to be on a weekly basis? Is it going to be like on a bi-weekly basis? Is it just going to be for certain matches? Is she going to have matches on Monday Night Raw to go along with it? Like, what does this contract entail? That's going to be the more interesting thing down the line. I think that's what people are kind of waiting to see at this point in time. So, let's go into the stumbling over my words. Let's go into the men's elimination chamber match, which will pit Elias, Braun Strowman, The Miz, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, John Cena, and Roman Reigns. That's right. Seven guys. There we go. 7 guys. That's better. I think that's a little bit better. So yes, they are putting 7 into the match, and They have made the announcement of how the match is going to work. It's no longer going to be just one-on-one for the first portion of it. They're not going to build an extra pod or put a shark cage in there. It's going to be a triple threat match to start off. So the only person that we know at the beginning will be The Miz. So Miz starts off, and then you'll have 2 others inside of there. And of course, Elias comes out of his pod last. We all know how this is going to end. We all know how this is going to end, unless they decide to throw that curveball at us again, which they could do. Let's be fair. They could throw the curveball and have someone other than Roman Reigns win this match. I'm just going to sit here and with that little pause for a brief moment with this look. It's going to be Roman Reigns. It's going to be Roman Reigns. And I'm okay with this. The reason why I'm okay with this is, 1, I'm not a person who absolutely hates Roman Reigns. 2, I'm, under the impression, like, a lot of people have been under the impression, like, they've kind of built this up for another match with Brock and Roman at WrestleMania. Now, granted, they could find a way to make it some kind of triple threat match and turn it back into WrestleMania 31 again, but this time for a full triple threat match instead of just a it's a one-on-one, and then it becomes a triple threat after the fact. So you do have factors like that in play here, but I don't see anything other than Roman Reigns winning this match. Now, for purposes of everything, more than likely you'll probably see something set up in the terms of other feuds within this match. like I'm expecting like they're already setting up for Miz and Finn Balor right now. Though you could easily go with Braun Strowman and the Miz as well. Somebody's going to be going after the Intercontinental title at this point in time. So I kind of expect it to be one of those two. Either Miz or it will either be Finn Balor or Braun Strowman going after the Miz on that side. I'll be interested to see if they have something set up for Seth Rollins for WrestleMania to go along with that. And then, of course, I like the fact that John Cena is playing this up as like this is his only way of going to WrestleMania. But so many fans know it's like you're John Cena. You're gonna be on WrestleMania. Now they could do something in here. As a matter of fact, they could have it go down to being Roman Reigns and John Cena. All of a sudden, the lights go out and the whole Undertaker rumored match happens to go along with it. So the lights go out, the gong goes off, and then Roman wins on that one. Though I doubt they'll do that. I feel like they'll have him go over strong in this one. No distraction, no anything like that. The way I feel like they get Braun Strowman out of there is he gets in there with X number of people still in the match and he eats everyone's finisher. He has to eat like 4 finishers or something like that. It makes him look strong and it gets him out of the match. It like logically gets him out of the match to go along with it. Though watching in the end, they'll just have Roman Reigns spear Braun Strowman and win the match or something on that side. Which again, like I said, I'm not a Roman Reigns hater. I feel like he's getting a lot better in the ring. His mic work is sketchy. It's sketchy, but it's better than what it used to be. I mean, come on, he's no longer saying "suffer and succotash, son." So, let's let this happen. Just it's like let it happen at this point in time. We know it's going to be Brock, and we know it's going to be Roman. Like I said, unless they want to throw that curveball at us, they've been building to this match for a very long time. They even put it to the point that, Brock pinned Roman at SummerSlam to win that Fatal 4-Way. So you have story there. You've been building the story. Just go for it. I know it's predictable, but go for it. Just go for it and have the match. Their last match that they had at WrestleMania 31 was actually really good, and I assume that they're going to probably be able to do the exact same thing here on that side. So, with that being said, that's pretty much everything for Elimination Chamber. Those will definitely be the predictions that I have. I have Woken Matt Hardy, Sheamus and Cesaro, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, and Roman Reigns. So, with that being said, everyone, I hope you guys enjoy everything and hopefully enjoy the pay-per-view on Sunday. I should be doing live reactions Sunday night for this pay-per-view, and I think I have at least one of my friends coming over for that one as well to go along with it. So we will have multiple takes on the particular show. So with that being said, everybody, again, I hope you guys enjoy everything and have a great rest of your day.